Let's analyze what's been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us. Like this goddamn suit doesn't work for me. And this stinking tie, and this goddamn shirt, it doesn't work for me. You know how to play winning hard-nosed football? You play football like a Gennaro played football. A guy who gave his life for this football team. He was a 140-pound halfback, and he played like a goddamn wild man. No, like a goddamn rampaging beast. And that's the way you gotta do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
Two dads and a chance, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a chance, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air conditioner, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a chance, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Two Dads and a Chaz podcast, the Green Bay Packer pod with the dad bod. I tell you, it was a rough one this week, ladies and gents. It was a rough one for sure, man. It was a rough one for sure. And we're going to talk about all of it this week. We're going to get deep, down, and dirty with not only the dads you know and love, but some special guests. We have gone through trials and tribulations, both on and off the field, including on this podcast. So if you got cheese in your veins, beer on your breath, and Packers in your heart, welcome home, ladies and gentlemen, because you've come to the right place. Now, let's introduce our kings in the north. Tyson is his given name, but you all probably know him as Thick Daddy 69 at footfetish.com. Tyson.
Great introduction, Chaz. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're not good right now. We're not a good team. I hate to break it to you, America. There's no way for me to spin this using magic cheese or any other vessel to tell you that this team has anything but really falling apart at the seams. And we have a duty to break it down, but this is more of an autopsy than a game at this point. And I got to tell you, we might be in for a rough year, folks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. He said, folks. I like folks. Let's move on to our next dad. This dad is known for smelling of Old Spice. One of his favorite pastimes is sitting on his front porch reading old TV guides. And you can find him mowing the local church lawn with his pants off. Let's hear it for Big Dick Ty Elizabeth Wendell.
Chaz is the man. Tyson, I'm not as ready to do the obit on this one. I think it's an incredibly young team. I think we're injured every which way you can think of. I think there's a lot of adversity. I also think maybe now is not the time to be playing your best football. That's fine. I'm going to be the optimist in this situation because we are so young. Maybe not this year, maybe not, making the full run, but we've got a foundation. There's enough veterans on defense to carry us. It's not. We didn't get housed last week. We played a very bad football team, and we lost to them. But we didn't lose to them 43-3. We were in it. We had the lead, unless everybody forgets at one point. It's not the end of the world in my book, and that's where I'm going to come from for this one.
This next dad loves stalking his local pharmacist at his local CVS on the west side, and he swears it's not a big deal. Let's hear it for my favorite, the porcelain prince himself, Aaron Mayhew. Let's hear it for him.
Thank you, Chaz, as always. Gentlemen, it's a mixed bag. Tyson, Ty, great takes across the board. I think the Packer public doesn't know quite how to feel right now, but the casual listener or reader sees the fucking headlines. It's all the same stuff, and it's feeding you just the instant headlines. But this podcast is based on taking things a little bit deeper and letting you know what's going on beneath the surface. And that's what we're going to do today, is going to break down this game.
Absolutely. I am, of course, your host with the most, a.k.a. the Wisco Kid, Chaz Ingram. Oh, yes, the talented one, the handsome one, the one that makes it all happen. Folks, I just want to remind you, we are now streaming on multiple platforms, so be sure to like, subscribe, and follow to Two Dads and a Chaz. We're going to move into the first quarter, my friends, by talking some Green Bay Packers football. First and foremost, let's talk about some initial impressions of this game, which was absolute dog shit. Deep dive, my friends. Let's go to Ty. Ty, what did you think? Just initial thoughts of this game.
I hate the slow start. I hate the fact that the Packers put up less than 100 yards of offense every single week, and there's not a good explanation for it, too. You know, it's not like we've got, we're riding Jerome the Bus Bettis and being like, oh, okay, well, of course we're a second half team. There's just nothing happening. Like, frustrating to be just off to such an unprepared start every week. But we hung in it. The defense forced them to kick a lot of field goals. They didn't get in the end zone much. Russell Wilson had to use some help from his best friend God to win that one. And and I think that we just, you can't beat the big guys. So some weeks aren't your week, but it wasn't a slaughter fest. We were in it. There were some things that I liked that I'd like to talk about more in detail. Player specific, but overall I thought the defense held occasionally. The disjointed offense is the huge question mark, and I don't know if they're disjointed because of scheme or the offensive line is just that bad. We've got good players, it's just none of them are offensive linemen. And so and that's what makes the game function. That's the core of the game. And so to see that just be such an afterthought or poorly done, I can't handle it. But yeah, that's my initial impressions of the game.
Hot takes from Hot Takes Ty. I'm going to move it down the line. Tyson, initial thoughts for this game, brother?
Yeah, you're talking function. I'm thinking dysfunction. I'm watching a team completely unravel. And it's disappointing because I was tricked from preseason, from family night until the end of that Bears game. My idea of what this team was could not have been more of a bait and switch. Like this team seemed like it was capable of running a pretty complicated offense with some really athletic players and a capable quarterback that you really didn't know where that ceiling was. And you had a pretty good, confident idea of where the floor was, and you were feeling good. And then the floor dropped out, and now I see a completely different vision. It feels like we bought a mansion on a discount, and you thought that you were just going to be able to fix up things here and there and make it work. And it turns out you need a whole new foundation. Your only option is to maybe jack this thing up and cut out the bottom and move it down a block and start over again, because the top is still perfectly good. The Packers are still a wonderful franchise, a lot to look forward to, but man, we are really simplifying this team and simplifying how we're supposed to be able to execute, and it's not helping. The complicated we can't do, the easy we can't do. I don't know if we can do football right now, guys. And I don't know how to fix it, because time off and not playing football isn't working. So disappointment understates it. I'd say just pretty bleak look if I'm looking at evidence on the trajectory of this team.
Mahudovich, Porcelain Prince. First and foremost, what is the name of your pharmacist?
Kathy.
Yeah. Any hot takes for us here, bud?
Yeah, both the boys hit it right on the nose. There's no way to kind of, as Tyson said, sugarcoat this thing by any means. And I think the hardest part for me is the idea that we had a bye week to prepare for what the rest of the NFL and basically all sports media thinks is like the worst goddamn team in the league. Defensively, they're like setting records on how poor and how many points they've given up. The offensive line they have is absolute shit. And then, Russell Wilson, we all think is like a withered, you know what I mean? Like tether bag. Yet we go in there and offensive scheme. I don't know what we're trying to do exactly. Okay. And we, defense goes out there first and foremost. They give up continuous yardage. Okay. Like the Denver Broncos offensive line is trash. And their running back is like a bunch of no-namers, but they're gashing us over and over and over, driving down the field. We do hold them to field goals. Ty is absolutely right. That's admirable. And we then need our offense to come out on the field and at least give them a breather, create some points, but it's nothing but 3 and outs. Like first half, what was that we've been talking about the entire year? You know what I mean? So fundamentally, I'm looking at the coaches right now. We can talk about the players. We can talk, we can rip Joe Barry, like the continuous things. But I think at our core, we have no identity. We are incapable of beating even the worst teams, and everybody's kind of looking at each other for like an answer, and it's kind of sad. I'll tell you what, boys. I saw a headline too the week going into the Denver Broncos game. It was about Matt LaFleur talking about like, hey, we might be looking at other teams in the league. You know what I mean? Like Miami in particular, like maybe taking pieces of their offense. And I'm like, why? Why the fuck are we, 1, saying it out loud? Why the fuck are we, 2, don't have our own identity? And why are we, 3, having Dontavian Wicks throw a ball as a trick play for like 10 yards? We're struggling to even get first downs.
Yeah, that's a playoff play. You don't want to roll that out week 6.
So, gentlemen,
I got to say, gentlemen,
we're lost, Chaz. We are lost. And I'm actually really curious, Chaz, what were your thoughts on Sunday?
I thought it looked like shit going into other shit 99.9% of the time. But the thing that upset me the most about the entire game was not always our consistent lack of being able to convert on third down. It was this thing right here. I saw this damn flag fly so many times when it fucking mattered for this team. I got to stop seeing bad penalties. I get we're rookies, and this is one of those things, but it literally makes me want to just rip the skin off of my own face.
I can segue into like individual penalties that also killed. And the one that stands out to me is the Josiah DeGuara false start. When we're on the goal line and all we got to do is punch it in, and he just couldn't follow the play. And it was a huge moment in that game, and it was a huge play. And for him to just blow it, and he's not a rookie. What's his excuse? He just sucks. Tyson?
Josh Myers. Josh Myers consistently finding the banana peel at the worst time.
Yep.
Guys, I'll be honest. You were on Marco Polo feed. You saw this. And I'm not proud of it, but I got one of the most exciting points in the game when that guy went out injured and we moved Zach Tom to the center. I'll be honest. That I felt like we had real momentum for like just a little bit. I know we're gonna get into offense a lot more later. I'd like to break this down a little further, but it was addition by subtraction, and then immediately this guy's like, I'm good, give me out of the 10, I'm ready to go. So like it's just that dude committed, I think, I don't even know, was it 3 or 4 penalties in the game, and they were all at the worst fucking time that they could ever happen. And he's just really terrible and getting worse. And it's a perfect example of where our team's at is Josh Myers' play throughout his career up until this point.
Tyson, I couldn't agree more, and I think the offensive line needs a lot of focus on this. Okay, Jot. Myers is a busted pick. We wasted a second-round draft pick on him. He's had multiple years to like grow within a system a culture that used to basically grow offensive linemen. He's not working. He's just not the fucking guy, and we need to move on. Also, what is the deal with Yosh Nijman not playing on this fucking offensive line? Anybody? Seriously, anybody?
Okay, here's what I understand is that here's the rumor I've heard. The official position is that he's not a great run blocker. So if he's not a good run blocker and we can't run block already, and we've already deemed that we don't trust our quarterback enough to try and throw the ball, then what are you going to do with a guy who's like above average to pretty good at pass blocking and maybe just like average, or in their mind a worse run blocker than Zach Tom? But that's stupid, flawed logic on a lot of levels, in my opinion. And I think bullshit on another level. And that's not really what's going on. Mayhew, you were telling me something about how he's in LaFleur's doghouse, and that fits the bill a little more, in the bizarre way that he passive aggressively chooses to lead or discipline players. I don't fucking stand it. And I feel like he makes us all watch players fail to like take it out on a better player who has to sit there and watch it as well. Like, he's willing to do that. He's willing to make Devontae Wyatt sit there and watch us suck at defensive line when he could be playing, to teach him a lesson or whatever for his first year, just to throw him out there with a busted knee to finish the job this week. I don't understand. I don't understand the personnel.
I need to take this a touch deeper. Justin, everything you said is 100% accurate. Yash, I feel like he's in the doghouse for some reason. This man started at left tackle, at right tackle. He has experience. He played better than what we're putting out there currently. So I'm shocked. But also, this team used to be a farm system of just offensive, just line talent. We draft guys in the fourth round, fifth round, sixth round. We end up with guys like fucking PJ Lang, The list goes on and on. Don't have it right now. But Adam Stenovich was our offensive line coach forever. The man was a fucking genius, and it didn't matter. We draft, they become incredible. We pay them maybe. We trade them maybe. They move on maybe. But we just always had a core of an offensive line sitting in front of Aaron Rodgers. Okay? I'm going to pull that up. Now, all of a sudden, Nathaniel Hackett gets traded, or he leaves us. He goes off to Denver. It doesn't fucking matter. But Adam Stenovich is like, hey, I feel like I need a fucking, a bump up. We move him to offensive coordinator, and now everything is completely fallen apart.
Everything's broken.
Offensive line is not the same. Tyson, you have thoughts?
No, you're right. The whole fucking thing is it's completely been unraveling. That was where we snipped the Afghan, and it's been slowly fraying ever since. We never should have taken that guy off the offensive line. It's something that our team and our franchise were built on. Mayhew, you couldn't be more right about that. This guy is one of the best offensive linemen in the game. And we're like, I know what I want to do with one of the guys that knows how to communicate one of the most complicated positions in football and how to do it on a level that it reaches these offensive linemen. We're going to have him design an entire offensive scheme and have him do that, and then have someone who's doing a really piss poor job have our entire offensive line fall apart. I think we made the wrong choice there. And again, classic, not LaFleur is, it just keeps going up the ladder on whose faults it lands at. But LaFleur is really bad at making adjustments quickly, making realizations quickly. Once he does make adjustments, a lot of the time it kind of works. Unfortunately, it's real late in the game after a do nothing strategy to get yourself into a hole. It doesn't matter if you can now scheme up something that's worthwhile. So he does the same thing with his decisions that he sticks with that were clearly a mistake. He doesn't adjust until it's way too late, and the damage is done. And I feel like that's what we're going to experience with this coaching staff in general. How fucking bad does this need to get before people start questioning the coaching job on this team? Because the players are failing miserably. They're fucking terrible. They can't run a play. It's really embarrassing.
Clearly the worst unit in this whole offense. Just absolutely. If you took the offense unit by unit, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the running backs, the quarterback. I know the receivers are young, but there's a lot to like there. Even the young tight ends, we've got a slew of them. And it's going to take some development, but I like what I see. But as a whole, like this offensive line blows, and it's ruining the rest of all of the rest of that. And it's hard to watch just one piece crater.
Well, just to give you all a little bit of perspective here, if we're going to the numbers, Pro Football Focus, bottom 5 offense, and you never like to hear this, is coming in number 1, Elton Jenkins. Coming in number 2, Rasheed Walker on the left tackle. And coming in number 4, Josh Myers. I'm not going to throw numbers at you because who gives a shit? But at the same time, top 5 offense, Zach Tom is like the one gleaming hope we have at right tackle. But Tyson, like you said earlier too, they predicted his best position being center. So maybe we shift him into center, send Josh Myers to Walmart to bag fucking groceries, and then we just reconstruct this thing and at least like give it a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, top 5 offense, John Runyon had a decent day. But gentlemen, at the same time, who are we playing? Denver Broncos are fucking trash. So it's like these numbers are something, but I don't know how to gauge this team. Honestly, these first couple of weeks, we are not playing top tier teams. Detroit, separate that, in which we got annihilated, and we're playing like the bottom fucking the sack of shit that is the NFL. And it's only going to get harder. So how does this team grow? Can it grow? Can it be better? I mean, Chaz, you think they're even capable?
I mean, dude, Green Bay, they've scored 20 or fewer points in the last 4 straight games. Those kind of numbers, let's remind each other here, those kind of numbers have not happened since 2005. 2005. I have not seen us do this poorly in almost fucking, what, 2005, 2015, 2020, almost 24. Dude, almost 2 decades. What the hell are we doing? Do I think that there's hope? I always think there's hope. I'm one of the most optimistic Packer fans you'll ever meet next to my father. May he rest. Just kidding. He's alive. But honestly, right now, I'm starting to get to a point where I had to stop myself from putting stuff away. Like, I got to a point where we still had game time, and I was putting cheese away. Like, that never happens for me. And I had to, like, stop myself and sit back down and force myself to, like, watch the game and take a breath. And so can we move forward? Obviously, we're going to, but you just said it, Mayhew. We're playing dog shit teams, and we've got one of the easiest, like, runs of the season, and it's only getting harder. So as far as what we do, we hire the 3 of you guys to start running the goddamn team, and I'll be the goddamn ref. I don't know.
Look, roller coaster of a week. Tyson, as you're well aware, I reached out to you almost immediately. Post Broncos game, I felt more loss with him as a quarterback than I had the entire year. I think anybody listening to this podcast is like, I've supported him, and I've seen moments where I'm like, God, you're elite. At the same time, I don't know if I've seen a more inaccurate passer, like in like the little like spaces at the same time. And I want to bring up like one major play, the last play of the game. Okay. Now 3rd and 20, just to even get, all we need is a field goal, gentlemen, by the way. So right away, the play call, as it breaks out, it's like they were clearly going for like pay dirt. I don't know why. Maybe just make up a good chunk of change. Anders Carlson, that's my boy. And what he does almost feels like he closes his eyes. He sees like one guy and he throws up a prayer. Now, if you throw a lower trajectory pass that is only maybe catchable by your, guy who has a step, that's great. And this is a reoccurring theme with him. His long ball, guys, is fucking atrocious. It's always underthrown. It's always hangs up in the air. It's like, dude, you have to give your receiver direction to where he can only get to it. But what did we see? A safety come from 20 yards across the field, have more than enough time to basically pick off the ball. Now, could Salvatore Torre actually just like made a plan in some way, swatted it down and like, maybe get a pass interference call? He's too young. He's not that kind of receiver yet. But this is a recurring theme for me where I'm like, Jordan, you got to tighten this shit up. You have to throw tighter balls. Let's talk about the 2 touchdowns, and then I'll pass this thing on. Boys, first one, we got very lucky that Romeo had hands on that ball, and the ref was like, oh, Ty goes to the receiver. But man, he throws that ball just like 2 feet deeper where Romeo had the guy beat. It's an easy touchdown. And the second one, holy fuck, a ricochet? You kidding me? I will admit though, if you guys watched that, he was going to Romeo, cocked back, and then went sidearm underneath to hit him because the defender was right there. Little hot. Maybe Romeo catches it. Jaden Reed, incredible catch. But that was our 2 TDs of the day. Like, is this an offense? This isn't an offense. This is like a fucking schoolyard jabroni game.
It looks like a bulging stallions game. It's nothing but trick plays and incompetence, and I can't, and I know because I was on that team. But the Packers are looking rough, man. They're just getting worse, and I don't feel. Here's what I did see also. Coach LaFleur, look, he took tough guy classes in the bye week. I don't know what he did with the team, but he definitely practiced screaming in the mirror in a convincing way. He looked angry and frustrated. He was yelling at the coach, or refs, getting him over here. I want to talk to you. He certainly looks the part of either a frustrated human, but I just don't think it's landing, man. I don't know what he's saying or not saying, but it feels like the team is rejecting the solutions that are put their way.
I think Love is capable of running a complex offense. We saw it in week 1 against the Bears. He was motioning, he was audibling, he had it under control, right? It's not that he's a bad game manager.
What happened to that, though? I agree, Ty. I'm not saying he's not. I completely agree with that statement. I don't disagree at all. My question is, what happened to that guy from preseason up into week 1 that I'm like, this fucking dude could play? What happened to that confidence? What happened to that command of the offense?
It's not. He didn't regress by miles. He's realizing that it's a very long season. And he's still figuring out who he is. I mean, we're trying to figure out who he is. He's still trying to figure out who he is. We went 4-12 the first season. Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. I don't know if you guys recall, but that was a miserable fucking season. And I was tricked momentarily, like you, Tyson, of like, and maybe we won't have to go through a rough transition year. Now it's dawning on me we might have to. But what I'm seeing out of Love is a guy who's capable of running an offense. Okay, fine. The last drive, I don't know if that's on him or the coaches or who, but way too early for a Hail Mary, way too early for a panic button. We had 1:40 on the clock. That's a lifetime in
the field too.
Against a shitty defense. Had he kept his cool, had he been a more veteran player, maybe that drive goes differently. But it's not like he wasn't in position to make that drive happen. He was there. He just fucked up when he got to the starting line of the 2-minute warning. It's the thing that I like and dislike about Jordan Love is what a catchable ball he throws. He throws a very catchable ball. And that's great if you're a tight end or a wide receiver on our team. It's also great if you're a goddamn 30-year-old free safety who needs it, And so that's why we had the touchception, the deflection touchdown, and the interception at the end. It's all because Jordan Love throws a catchable ball, which, I mean,
I throw a catchable ball, it's still going to be an interception in the NFL. But I got to be accurate. Mayu, what do you got?
Ty, catchable ball. What the fuck are you talking about? I would hope that anybody
look at how he throws the ball. It is a catchable ball. You watch quarterbacks around the league.
I can't argue with that.
Professional.
Watch Baker Mayfield try to fucking connect with a wide receiver. That is not a catchable ball. These guys, we saw it with Brett Favre. He didn't throw he threw a bullet, but there were 2 guys on earth that could handle that fastball. Jordan Love, it doesn't matter. Aaron Jones, Musgrave, Dobbs, they're all going to catch it because he's putting it on them. The problem is it's a little soft right now for my taste, but he's getting it to them in a point where they can catch it, which I don't think the inaccuracy is there. I think that the fact that he's has to scramble every time he snaps the ball. He's got a really great move where he steps up in the pocket and is he going to run? Is he going to throw? That's some Michael Vick shit. I haven't seen that. Defense linebackers confused as to what he's going to do. He refines that a little bit. That's a scary threat. So we're not there with Jordan Love right now, but we're not miles away from being there with Jordan Love. Get this season under your belt, learn some goddamn things, and figure out who you are and give our team an identity, because the offensive identity has to come from him at this point.
Nah, you're defending your guy, and I appreciate it. I do. And you made a lot of good points. I would like to try to close with like one thing here. Okay, let's just kind of back it up a little bit. So far this year, Jordan Love has not thrown for over 300 yards offensively, not even once.
Neither did Tom Brady.
Hold on. And last year, neither did Aaron Rodgers for the entire year, given the cast of characters that he had. So let's back it up a little bit more. We go to game 1 against Chicago Bears. I know that team is not, it was the Bears, and we looked phenomenal. And you know what also we had? We had David Bakhtiari holding down the left side. Our offensive line was a fucking symphony. Aaron Jones was healthy. Aaron Jones was there making fucking plays, and Matt LaFleur had a fresh offense that nobody had the ability to like see. And we felt like an elite team for a brief moment there, right? We're like, okay, our quarterback is just fine. All that tape goes on to the coaches. They start analyzing it. David Bakhtiari goes to the wayside. Offensive line woes continue. Aaron Jones gets injured, injury. And so now we're asking this quarterback, his first year playing. You can tell me he's been in the system for 3 years. I don't give a shit about that. Jordan Love has not seen these defenses react to him. He hasn't seen how it goes. It's all fresh. And
he doesn't know who he is.
Exactly. And we basically took what Aaron Rodgers last year was calling out continuously, not running the right routes. And then we got younger, added tight ends, added fucking playmakers that in the long run might pay dividends. But that's okay. I'm going to sum it up quickly. I thought Jordan Love was absolute trash after Sunday. And I've come to a personal conclusion that it's not good. He needs to win me back, but he has not been given a good situation. The run game is non-existent. The offensive line cannot get out of its own way. And every receiver he has, whether he's missing them accuracy-wise, or they're running the wrong routes,
or they're all under the age of 24 years old.
Precisely.
My God, we're all starting to sound like Bears fans talking about Justin Fields. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right.
I'm
Thank
not.
you, Chad.
I think there's a lot of legs.
Why don't you set the next couple plays out, you son of a bitch?
No, Chaz is right. Guys, I agree with everything, a lot of what you're saying. But also, like, at a point here when things are going wrong, you expect a quarterback to turn it around. You expect a quarterback to put his foot down and say, no, that's enough. I'm going to at least put this team on my back. I'm going to do something about this.
He got us the lead. He got us the lead back. We were 17-16. They kick a field goal. Like, it's not, I don't know how much of this I'm willing to put on Jordan Love.
Let's talk about Matt LaFleur.
Damn it, LaFleur.
Speaking of Coach LaFleur, not everything can be blamed on just the quarterback. Obviously, we've had some problems with this guy on and off the last couple of years, whether it's him on the field, off the field, in negotiations with players. But personally, I am not also ready to give up on LaFleur just yet. Don't ask me why, because I can't answer why. It's just more of like a gut feeling.
He's sexy, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's because he's so good looking, dude. I'm telling you, his beard and everything, bro.
I want his haircut. I want his sweatshirt choice.
I know.
I want a little bit of chew. I never want to dip before. I see LaFleur. I'm like, man, they actually makes it kind of cool.
Okay,
exactly.
I'm shocked we're having this conversation because this
game
in particular, that Denver fucking Sun was beating down on this guy where he looked like a tomato about to burst. And then as soon as like a couple of like those some horrible calls went. He fucking exploded.
He lost his mind. He looked like a crazy person. Dan's like, that's my kind of man.
You wear a hat often, but you chose not to in this fucking sun. Maybe some sunglasses. I don't know.
We all have bad days, Mayhew. We all have bad. You walked out of the shower with shit on your back today. Like, we all have bad days.
I'm just saying.
You know who's been consistent in this Packers offense? Fucking AJ Dillon being good for one drive a game. One drive a game, the guy is a goddamn ox, and you can't bring him down. It's somewhere in the third quarter. AJ Dillon decides that he's now an ox, and he just runs through everyone. And it's like he's so consistent. But the rest of the game is just pure shit on Mayhew's back. It's terrible.
Yeah, he is sitting on Mayhew's back a lot. And it's unfortunate because every play that you break down for AJ Dillon that looked average, like you look and like there was a clear hole. Like if he would have like just seen that over there, like, oh geez, that might have been pay dirt. That might have been like a 30-40 yard run. But he's like, I'm gonna split that fucking little gap between those two guys right there and make sure I run real high. And I don't know what's going on there.
I got a couple other quick mentions I'd like to get in here on offense. I'd like to give the Big Dick Player of the Game award to Musgrave for getting creamed when he was stumbling backwards.
Oh my Lord!
Obliterated. I hadn't seen a violent hit like that in years. And the fact that he hung onto that ball and got up and walked off on his own was impressive.
Well, walked off like, you thought you
went straight to the smelling salts.
Yeah, and then he rolled his ankle walking. So now he's in a walking boot. I'm not kidding. He's in an injury report for an injured ankle, which he got from that hit to his head because he lost the use of his feet for momentarily and like fucking broke his own ankle. So
it was crazy. It was the craziest thing I'd seen. The NFL is back, baby. Apparently, that's a thing. Big hits are a thing now. It's unfortunate it happened to him, but hell yeah for surviving it.
Gentlemen, ladies, fans, countrymen, we're gonna close out this quarter real quick with some real quick thoughts about. I want to hear one positive thing about the Packers before we move on from each person before we go into the third quarter. Tyson, you first. Say something nice.
You guys, it's only a third of the way into the season. Growth is not necessarily a linear line. You can learn a lot from failures. And sometimes you got to dig a real deep hole before you can start filling it in with something. So I think that we have nowhere to go but up unless we continue to go down.
Ty?
Right now, we're young and hurt. We won't be young and hurt forever. In fact, we won't be young and hurt this whole season. There's going to be some maturing that goes on. Some key guys, Aaron Jones, going to get healthy. We're going to be back in the mix. The NFC North, the Lions will fall apart, but the rest of the competition, are we really worried about the 3-4 Vikings? Maybe a little bit after last week's win on the 49ers, but overall as a whole, the team doesn't scare me. I don't think they have the longevity, and they've got a wackadoo of a coach who's bound to just destroy the whole thing just on his own. So I'm the same place I was last week. They're young and hurt right now. They won't be young and hurt forever. Keep the faith.
Udovich?
I'm simply worried that this team doesn't actually have any kind of direction. I think we will manage to be mediocre and kind of flounder within a certain realm. And I'm not looking for us to just basically tank to get a better draft pick. Maybe it'll just kind of like take care of itself potentially. But I'm willing to ride out the year with Jordan Love and kind of see where we're at here, see where our coaching staff is at. But in general, my overall thought is that this team it's not cohesive. And I'm not talking about just the team. I'm talking about the coach, the general manager, and the fucking chuckle nuts president that we have, who is going to retire in about a year. So we'll see how that plays out. Tyson, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're.
Well, that was a very positive take on everybody's positive takes. Real positive. We're going to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in a second. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, hi, Ty. Hi, Carrington Valentine. Why so sad? Well, being a rookie is hard. But Carrington, don't you bring the dick punch? That's right, I do. It's satisfying and refreshing. Yeah, Packer fans worldwide already know that when things get rough, they can always reach for an ice-cold dick punch. We've been watching Lions fans enjoy it for years. Nothing lifts the mood of players and fans like a dick punch, except that one guy, but fuck him. So, whether you're getting beat by an old-ass QB to a tight end on an out route, or just getting beat, swing on down for a dick punch. It's a fan favorite. You'll be glad you did.
Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Two Dads in the Chat podcast. We want to thank our sponsors, Dick Punch, our first real sponsor outside of Big Dick Energy Drink. Give it up for them. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, to like and subscribe. We are on multiple platforms now, so you can find us locally and globally, baby. Mayhew!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back to season 2, Two Dads and a Chaz Packer podcast. Everybody's favorite Viking fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Reich. Andy, welcome back to the show. We are so happy to have you.
What is up,
Wait a minute.
fella?
It's good to see you.
What's
Reach!
up, guys? Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
We're glad to have
We're
you
happy
back.
to have
man.
you, Bubba. Have you lost weight?
I was going to say, you look trim,
I have.
motherfucker. You look trim.
You look thin. Well, as everybody knows from last season, Reich is our favorite Minnesota fan, and that's saying a lot because we don't have a lot. I mean, we bring on the occasional Eric Bears fan, but it's no Reich. It's no Reich.
He's
You
a
know what I
Viking
mean?
insider.
It's no Reich.
He's a Viking
That's right.
insider.
I got to ask real quick, Bub. Did you? I mean, what? First of all, what were your thoughts on that San Fran win? I mean, none of us watched, so
I watched.
Yeah, that was one of
you
those
did.
games where we all have them throughout the years, whether you're 3-13 or 13-3, where you tune in and you think, man, I hope I don't get stomped in the face too hard tonight. You know, let's just try to have fun with this thing. And we turn it over, which has been just the depths of our despair this year, like on the first drive. And like, I'm pouring my second whiskey, like it's going down, you know, it's going down. I'm going to be passed out by halftime, you know? And then they punched the ball out at the 10, and it's like, Chaz, it was like an enlightenment of life, you know? It just came back, and I could enjoy the game, and I laid off the Grandpa's cough syrup for a little bit. And
that was your mistake.
Yeah, that's true.
Your mistake in that scenario is you got to double down on that cough syrup.
And Rishi, I gotta say, they were playing well. It's not like they beat a 49ers team that couldn't stop finding the banana peel, man. They were like, their drives were looking good. I mean, Purdy was definitely connecting and in rhythm. Their fucking running back is a bad motherfucker and was imposing will on you guys. And it was just like well-timed turnovers, well-timed momentum shifts, and just a good game. But I gotta say, a fucking rookie wide receiver, boy, I guess I'd call him young, wouldn't you? A young player, and he's able to just come out there and look like a fucking star. Put up how many? I don't know, 150 yards. I lost track. It's unbelievable. I remember Jefferson doing that as a young player. Quit telling me that we got a young team with young players and young players can't do shit. Look at the fucking Vikings, dude. They got two guys. I can't tell them apart. Madison and Addison. They both wear kicker numbers and they put up like fucking 400 yards in this game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, you hit the nail on the head with your first comment. I think they're the exact same team as last year. The difference is their turnover margin this year is they're -7, right? Now San Francisco buffered that to -5, but you're not going to win a whole lot of ball games with that turnover margin. Last year at this time they were +2, right? And so there's your difference. But Vikings aren't great at a whole lot of things, but they are really good at wide receivers, right?
Yes, they are.
They're good at rowing boats. They're good at raping and pillaging. They're good at building shields. They're good at blowing horns.
That's true. That's true.
You're making me jealous.
And wide receivers.
You're making me jealous of the Vikings there, Chaz.
There's a correlation there, yeah. So
Rishi, for me,
Guys
I
always wanted
gotta
to blow a
say,
horn.
it was like two things. It was that Christian McCaffrey got shut down in a manner that I actually hadn't seen. You know what I mean? Like he might have gotten a TD, but it was like 40 yards total. But it was a statement of your QB. I'm sorry, I got like some foggy brain here. Kirk Cousins, who like under the spotlights of like Monday night, Sunday night, this has been his like Achilles heel, right? The motherfucker showed up. He was slinging the ball, making it happen.
Hello?
Threw for 378.
Hello?
Hang on. Hold on. Time out.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling, ding-dong. Hello? Jazz?
Shane, is that you?
Is that Shane?
Hey,
From Shawano?
hey, guys.
Oh my God. He's alive. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Shane from Shawano somehow tuning in live from the on this broadcast, obviously cutting off Reish's moment in the fucking sun here. But my God, what happened? I mean, last time we saw you, you were getting the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, what happened there? We were all worried.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Well, how's it fucking going, you stupid fuckers?
Great.
I'm
were
back,
no
I'm
help at all.
alive, and I'm on the fucking mend. Okay?
I see that.
I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me.
Yeah, I didn't exactly do that, but I mean, we were curious.
I don't remember.
We thought
given-
you were dead,
given the-
for being totally honest.
Son of a biscuit.
Given the restraining order, we're not supposed to actually do that. That's why I was curious.
Please hang up and try again.
We got
Notice how
awful internet down there.
No
in
worries.
Shawano.
Rishi, let's bring it back to you.
Yeah, but
Now,
we'll cut right back to Reish. Yeah.
No, you all were like 2-4. All of a sudden, the San Fran game kind of brings you back into relevance, and now you're going to face us this Sunday. How do you feel about your team in general? And then let's talk about like some key matchups here that our fans can look forward to.
yeah, two things. One is huge fan of Shane from Shawano. I'm so glad he got to join us. I love everything about him, and he's a proud supporter, right? He was slammed the dick punch, which I think is fantastic.
Oh,
so don't want to let that moment get
He
away
buys
from us.
everything we sell. Any sponsor we have, he
Love
pretty much
that guy.
buys the whole supply. I don't know
Huge
where he gets his
fan.
money. I'm a little worried about it. I'll be honest.
Huge fan. Yeah, so we'll all be at his funeral. But back to your question, mate. Hey, Kirk Cousins, there's a great rap song that says 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. We have the same problem. We got 99 problems, but Kirk Cousins ain't one. He's a good ball player.
You call
He's
him a
not the
bitch?
problem here. If you look at our passing offense, we are the number 2 ranked passing offense in terms of yardage in the NFL. And that's with the best wide receiver in the NFL down 2 games already in Justin Jefferson.
Oh.
So as you start to analyze kind of what to expect moving forward, we throw the ball maybe too much. And part of that is because our rushing attack ranks 30th in the NFL, right? So we're built to get the ball out and let the playmakers make plays. We're not built to pound the rock. We got 0 rushing touchdowns. That's 0, as in less than 1. And so we got to throw the ball vertically, and we got to throw it off, and Kirk does a nice job of that. So as we talk about talking points going into next week and things to pay attention to, it's a lot like Shane and Shawano. You don't want that running game to go missing like it died and fell off a cliff. You need that to be there. You got to be able to run it for 4 or 5 yards every few carries so that you can keep them honest and get that play action going.
No, it makes sense, Reach. Is it the offensive line or is it the running backs you actually have in the stable? Ever since Dalvin Cook has moved on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, you know what?
What the fuck kind of connections you guys got here?
It's the
producing
Northwoods.
this fucking show tonight? God damn. Can we get some internet that's not fucking from Bangladesh? Let's go.
It's
God
the North
damn.
Woods internet.
Listen up, fucking stupid fuckers. I'm back.
God damn it! How'd you get away from evil Ryan Eagles fan? Did you use
hate
what
that
you were
son of a
holding
bitch.
right there?
I talk shit to him online all the time. I guess I was hiding behind my keyboard and he just decided to come and find me.
Oh,
And,
For those of you that maybe missed that specific episode, when we had Shane on, we also had our horrible Eagles fan friend on, who apparently stole the show from him, accosted Shane from Shawno. If you're not watching the feed, he's currently in a cast with a shoulder brace as well. So we're just happy to see that you've made it back.
Thank you so much, Chaz. I appreciate your tender, kind heart and how much you entertained me the couple of weeks that I was in the hospital. And by couple weeks, I mean couple days. And that has to do with, all the fantastic content that you share with me on Instagram. And by share, it means me constantly hounding you to provide me with a little bit of breadcrumbs is what I'd like to call it. Thank you for dangling the carrot in front of me. As you all know, I was assaulted by a fucking guy wearing a leotard and a tinfoil jacket. He smelled like the bottom of a bird cage. Okay?
Unitard.
And that's really all I remember is the awful stank while I was getting spanked. And
Is a unitard.
Whatever, you cover your face up, there's got to be something wrong with your face, I heard he's uglier than shit. I heard that this guy looks like his face caught on fire and someone tried to put it out with a screwdriver. Okay? But anyway, I woke up in a puddle of my own urine and I was wished away to bell in health.
Oh, that's good.
Well, God damn it, Shane, we're just glad you survived the whole ordeal.
Oh my God!
And that you can
I'm
be
glad
with us
that you're
tonight.
saying this now that we're on air, but I'm not gonna lie, bud. You were the only dad that didn't reach out to me. I
really did.
All I got out of you was a goal, fucking pack goal. Come on, I got my ass kicked for you. I defended your honor, and it's like, Ty, how's it going? We're still stuck in the fucking friend zone, I guess. It's like, are we going to be professionals or what? So I'm like, hey, Ty. And he's like, oh, go, Pat, go. It's like,
in fairness to myself, I wrote that at 4:45 on the shitter, just trying to check something off my list for the day.
I do some of my best work on the shitter. That's not an excuse. Ty,
it's interesting.
Hey, I believe in your resilience, Shane. I believe in your resilience.
Ty. It's fine. You know what, Ty? I might not have 12 inches, but mine smells like a foot.
Shane, I reflect on your story, and when I hear you say someone's dangling
hang on, let me get a better look at this.
Reach Vikings
oh
fan.
My God, no. It's bad enough that I have to see the pale guy square. But now I got this guy on here. He looks like a ginger.
He definitely is.
Used to be till he shaved his head.
Shane, I'm reflecting on your story and something jumped out at me. You had mentioned that Chad was kind enough to reach out and kind of drop breadcrumbs in a carrot, right? Chase the carrot. And then Ty didn't even have the honor to call you and texted you while he was taking a dump. And it makes me think that it is in direct correlation to your great sponsorship of that dick punch that you're chugging right now. Now, Mayhew, to close the loop while Shane from Shawno lost his Bangladesh internet again for a moment, you had asked a direct question as it relates to the Vikings running game and why they're 30th in the NFL. To be fair, the offensive line is pretty decent. The problem is the running backs. Recently picked Cam Akers, who used to play for the Rams when Kevin O'Connell was the offensive coordinator. Last week, Cam Akers had more carries than Alexander Madison. I expect that trend to continue, and I expect that rushing performance to continue to grow while they make that adjustment. So in the next few weeks, I expect our offense will be better on the ground.
I go ahead and say, based on our defense, I expect them both to put about 250 yards up on us.
Oh no, Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 400.
We can make any running back
going to throw for
look like
400
fucking
in
Barry
this one.
Sanders.
He's going to shred. The Packers right now in the secondary have a lot of attitude and a lot of injury.
Damn it.
And with a hurt Jair, yeah, we'll get into actual football, but like, I just worry about the secondary against the air assault that the Vikings are going to bring. And then it's going to come down to, we just watched the Broncos run all over us. It might not matter how Cam Akers runs the ball at all. He might accidentally end up with 150 yards. So it's this offense, this Vikings offense. And then we haven't even gotten into the Vikings run defense. This is a team that was designed specifically to beat this Packers team. Mayhew?
Quick question. Rishi, you're in a similar situation. Our coach right now, we're questioning a little bit, and he came from the Shanahan, kind of tree. You are in a similar situation. Shut the fuck up, Shane.
I'd like to interrupt real quick.
No.
Hey, what's going on? You know what chaps my ass? So many damn gingers on this show. What's up with all the redheads? Last season, Chaz, remember at the end of the season, you emailed me the comment card. You said, "What would you like to change for next season?" And I says,
"I do remember that.
No more fucking gingers, because you had Miami Vice ginger guy who was our fucking fan, and then you got 2 weeks in a row of this ginger guy, and now he's fucking back. I was hoping you'd get a little better insight than this. Isn't Chris Hovan available, or at least a guy that used to ride the Harley around at the fucking stadium? Isn't that guy around? Can we get Gorgonzola or whatever his name is up in here? What the fuck? It's bad enough you guys didn't have a bye week show. What the fuck? You could have just had me and Chaz do something for like an hour and a half. It would have been super entertaining. It didn't matter.
That would be for a different streaming platform, I believe. If we let you and Chaz do something for an hour.
If we're not gonna plug our OnlyFans currently.
And we're working on that page. It's coming out springtime.
We just want to thank you for drinking Dick Punch. Dick Punch is a fabulous drink, and I'm just glad we've got some of it on our team now.
I love you guys, and anything you endorse, I will drink. And I'm glad you brought attention to that. Now, this is the family size. You got to just crack it open with the metal, opener with the triangle punch at the top. And that's how I'm enjoying this.
Can opener.
Like a pineapple juice.
Candidly, I'll be honest. This stuff tastes like shit, Ty. You should taste things before you endorse them. Honestly, this thing tastes like Monster Energy that's gone flat and someone just took a blender and put some hard-boiled eggs in there and then strained it out.
Hey, Ty, or excuse me, Shane, have you ever had the Minnesota Sea, man? You ever had that?
I'm not done talking about the drink. God damn, can I finish? So anyway, the other thing, you know what this kind of tastes like? Damn it.
What does it taste like? Bangladesh strikes 3.
Well, we have a brief moment, Rishi. What I was trying to explain was that I felt like Matt LaFleur was like the lowest of like the tier of like this like Kyle Shanahan. We're like, gotta get our guy. But man, the Vikings also, it's like I feel like you kind of grabbed a guy. Like, how do you feel about your head coach? Honestly, is this the fucking guy that's gonna win you a Super Bowl, or are you guys just kind of treading water?
Yeah, big fan of Kevin O'Connell. Really? They brought him into a team that was like 4-win squad, and they didn't change the roster. The new GM, Kefe, had mentioned, hey, we're going to do a competitive rebuild, right? So basically, hey, head coach, I'm going to sell your expensive players and give you young guys, and I expect you to win, right? That's the message.
Thielen gone.
I'm familiar with that message. Sounds
Kevin O'Connell went from 5 wins to 13 wins. Now, I would argue they're a better team this year, actually. Everything went their way last year. But the point is, he's got a good culture, he's got a good system, and he can motivate. And those are all 3 key pillars to long-term success. So I'm a big fan of Kevin O'Connell. I think it's only a matter of when and not if with him.
Would you say that he can wipe his ass on his own without help?
Nah, probably not. I think when you get to the head coach stage, you're a CEO, including a CEO of your toilet paper.
Well, I think if he can wipe his own ass, then he can probably outcoach our defensive coordinator. So I'm worried about that because he needs a lot of help. He's got a team.
My God.
Mike, Shane, you're still here.
He keeps talking. I'm sorry, I'm cutting in and out. I'm in a bad spot, cell zone, okay?
Yeah, no, we're familiar.
Here's what I was getting at, guys, is last year Chaz sent out a comment card, okay? And I just explicitly said no more gingers. And I thought that my input was being heard here, but clearly it wasn't, okay? So, anyway, you know Wally?
No.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've had drinks with him.
I'm talking to the Vikings guy.
No, not familiar.
All right. Better not, because that's who's Lana's shacking up with right now.
Sorry to hear about that, Shane.
No wonder
I thought you and Lana were through. What does that matter to you? You're done with Lana.
No, buddy.
It doesn't make it hurt any less. You know? A broken heart is a broken heart, T-Bone. You should write a love song with your heavenly voice. All the gals at the hospital love the theme song when I play it repeatedly over and over and over again, okay?
Why are you at the hospital?
Because I broke my fucking arm. What do you mean why I'm at the hospital? Look at my
Okay.
No, that's where he goes to pick up the easy chicks. He likes the slightly wounded ones.
I don't know. I put a little bag line in this.
You're supposed to be drinking alcohol with all the meds you're on.
I know, but just don't tell nobody.
And then all the other uppers and hoppers and loopers that you like to take on the side. We know about those too.
It don't matter. Those are from my trucking days, and I'm gonna drive the skid steer no matter how fucking shape I'm in, whether I'm high, sober, doped up, doped down. It don't matter. I'm driving her.
Just crushing those Adderall. Just get her done.
I got a patch on my jacket that says 15 years accident free, and I didn't earn that for nothing. Okay. I drive her in all conditions, all weather.
Good thing they don't count the accidents in your pants.
That's right. They don't. And if they did, I'd get sent home much more often.
About O'Connell, here's the thing I respect about the guy. We don't have a coach right now who has players who will run through a brick wall for him. And I'm looking around at these other coaches, and there are maybe 4 or 5 of them in the league right now. Shanahan's one of them, that nut job from the Jets. And O'Connell seems to have his guys whipped up into a fervor where they will run through a brick wall for him. Also, the thing I like about him is his referee management. This dude actually scares refs. This dude actually badgers refs into making them see it his way. Referee management, I mean, what is his old nuts from Pittsburgh before the coach now? Cowher.
Old nuts.
Cowher won a goddamn Super Bowl by badgering refs into letting them have it. Like, ref management is a thing that good coaches do well. LaFleur does not, and I see it on other teams, and I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah, that is one of the best takes I've ever heard, actually. Referee management. It's something no one talks about. But if you look at that last game, it's every game in the NFL, at least the way the Vikings play them, is a one-possession ball game. Meaning, one team is going to have the ball with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left, and a first down wins you the game. And if you punt, you're going to lose the game. Period. End of story. What you called out with referee management is O'Connell literally will walk to the ref and say, watch number 3. Because he knows the route number 3 is going to run, and he knows that they have to hold him or it's a first down because he's going to burn the guy. And it happened. It was videotaped. And now we completed the pass, but it was a penalty and it was thrown, right? So we were going to win that game based on him prepping the ref, or referee management, as you call it.
The Bears that way, too.
Wasn't that a rookie, that number 3? Number 3 is not a rookie?
Yeah, Addison. He's a baller.
Wow, rookie doing all that. He could play. He could do all the stuff, but he's a rookie. How? He's so young.
May I jump in, guys?
Young guys are no good. You got to give him time, Reese. You got to give him time. 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They figure it out. You got to be patient, Reesh. Patient. KJ
guys-
Osborne would be a fucking 10 on the Packers.
Ty, Reesh, I love that take. That's fucking inside football knowledge that like nobody sees or like thinks about. Oh yeah, but Shane, go ahead and fucking talk, I guess.
Thank you. I'm about to break it all down and leave out some facts and make some statements that I likely regret. So here we go.
Hey, Shane. Shane.
Okay, yeah.
What's the number one employment type of skid drivers?
What kind?
Parole.
Shane from Shawano hasn't been on parole for 13 years. All right.
That's fair.
It was more like
That's
13
fair.
months because me and Chaz had some serious run-ins last year, and I got in a lot of trouble.
A lot of judges had to tell you to stop, didn't they?
Well,
a lot of judges had to
there's
tell
a
you
lot
to
of things.
stop.
One thing you guys don't
Great.
know is that I am Shane's number one fan. So the reason I bust his balls so hard is I love his takes. I wait for him to call in weekly.
Yeah, he's a thrill.
TJ Hawkins.
Remember to cut all this out.
Going to you think he's going to do eat us up alive or what? What are your thoughts on that? I feel like we have very little answers for a respectable tight end, and also we can't stop the run. Who do you think is going to have? Who do you think is going to have a big game against the Packers? And what are your thoughts on this game? Who's going to win?
So TJ Hawkinson, I have a love-hate relationship with him, much like you would have with a coach. And the reason is, against the Chargers and against the Chiefs, he had two drops that might be between a win and a loss this year. He's the highest paid tight end in the NFL. So not that he's not allowed to make mistakes, but when you're the highest paid, I want at least 50% of those 50-50 balls. You know what I mean? To win games. However, he is uber talented, and with Jefferson out, they're featuring him. They're building the offense around him. It's kind of like a Travis Kelce effect. And so I do expect that he's going to have a big game. I think to Ty's earlier point, you're going to have to commit 8 to the box if we want to run. And when you do that play action, Kirk Cousins is the most underestimated play action quarterback in the NFL. This guy is very good at play action plays. And the tight end fits right into that. So I do think Hawkinson's hair is going to be flying around on Sunday.
Yeah, I think TJ Hawkinson's probably going to have about 10 targets and 1 fumble. And I think that's my suggestion. I think he'll probably catch about 6 of those balls. And that's what I think is going to happen.
Reeky, for me, I think it's twofold. I think Kirk Cousins is completely. I've had this guy on my fantasy team like multiple times, just like because nobody fucking wants him like in the 10th round. You know what I mean? But the guy continues to follow through and put up big yards. Quick question. I'm just curious. The fact that you guys got TJ Hawkinson, Detroit drafted him like in the top 10. They were willing to just like separate from him. What do you think the thought process was there? Like, how did you guys just stumble upon a rather valuable, piece of the puzzle
in division?
Detroit had a tight end. Their second tight end was Sam Laporta, who is another.
That was drafted just this year. I mean, they cut him long before they even had that plan, my man.
They picked Laporta this year. Okay, yeah. They had another guy last year that they really liked behind Hawkinson, and they didn't really skip a beat. In fact, after the trade, the Detroit offense was better. Part of that is just because the rest of the young offense in Detroit was getting better. But the other part of that, quite frankly, is you don't have to feature a guy. They were really more of a spread offense at that stage that was transitioning from a run-heavy offense to a passing offense. And I think they wanted to lighten the burden, if you will, of having to feature a tight end as the top target. I think that's how that came down, and Minnesota was willing to overpay because we needed a tight end desperately.
My thing with Minnesota is this. They are the most financially intelligent team in the NFC North. They know when to move on from a guy. They know when to not sign a guy. They know when to trade veteran players. And they did this. And this is why the Vikings are good 1 every 5 years. Is because it takes them 4 years of planning and good, smart stuff. This is not that year for them. I don't think this is the year where the Vikings torch everybody else. And that's the only time I see the Vikings be good over decades is once every 5 years, it's like, oh no, oh shit, they're gonna go 15-1. Like they're gonna be the scary team that nobody like takes seriously. But if you're outside of that 5th year, you've got a chance to beat this team every single week. I'm going hard on the Vikings. I think this is when Jordan Love decides to shut down the haters, despite a terrible offensive line. I think we get the 38-35 victory over the Vikings this weekend.
God, that'd be great.
Wow.
That'd be a lot of points.
38-35?
Yeah. Take the over.
Oh,
Take
damn.
the over on this one. Offense is going to be lights out. And it's going to be Jordan Love. He's going to have to throw for 400 yards to keep pace with the 378 that Cousins is going to put up.
We should take scores here, and I think this is a perfect example of
go for it.
overreactional NFL. You know what I mean? Rishi, you all were fucking left for dead. No one gave a shit about you and your 2-4 team until Sunday when you guys stunned San Francisco, and now fucking relevance, right? So ride that wave, motherfucker. But man, this Sunday, if you guys lose to us somehow, your bald ass is going to come back on this show next Tuesday, and it's going to be fun. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to be soaring. Mayhew, what's your score?
Oh, I'm an over-under guy. I'm going to call over-under 52.
What does that even mean? Who's going to win?
Little balls.
What does that even mean?
Little balls, Mayhew, but we respect it here.
Okay, or we can just throw
tiny
We got
balls.
Shane from Shano-sized testicles on this, but I'm like pouring my heart and soul into throwing up a massive score here.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, here we go. We're gonna lose 35-17. Minnesota Vikings over us.
They double up
Okay.
on us?
Wow.
Yep.
Brutal.
There it is.
Tyson, you got a score?
You're not gonna like it, Ty. I do. I do have a score. Again, I feel like even if our team completely rebounds from last week and plays 100% better, we still lose this game because we played so poorly last week and the week before. We are on a trajectory of playing worse each week, being able to do less and less normal football things successfully. I don't see that from the Vikings. They seem like a better coached team right now. I actually admire what they have going on right now.
Noon at Lambeau. Home field.
I'm sorry, man. From my perspective, this team is in disarray. We're in free fall. And like, what's going to stop us? I don't know. It's possible. It could be the Vikings. It'd be swell if it was. But I really think that the more likely scenario is that the Vikings come into Lambeau and help us establish our rock bottom and take care of business 28-17. And we again don't break 20.
Ty's exactly
No worries.
correct. We are just good enough to beat any team in the NFL. We could have beat the Chiefs. We could have beat Tampa. We just did beat San Fran. They're all first place teams. And we could have lost to the Panthers very easily, who's the worst team in football. So we are just good enough to win or lose any ball game. 18 of Kevin O'Connell's 24 football games as head coach have been one-possession games.
Oh, that's close.
So what that's going to tell you is, Tyson, you're the closest, I think, in the prediction land, or Ty. It's gonna be a one-possession game, guys. Period. End of story. That's how we play. It's a sleepy start on a noon in Lambeau, so I would take the under, which is converse to what you guys are going with. And I think the Vikings get off to a slow start. I think it's 13-7, 13-10, something like that at half. Maybe the Packers are in the lead. But ultimately, I think we have more playmakers. And we're currently -5 in turnover differential. We just went from -7 to -5, right? If we turn the ball over, we're going to lose. We've proven that. However, I do believe in the law of averages. We're going to get that -5 to closer to -3. We're going to turn you over a few times. We're the better team, and we're going to win. Final score, 21-18, 23-17, something ugly. Some ugly-ass game, and Vikings win.
Interesting. Those are some bold scores, gentlemen. I am going to break the mold for everybody for the first time in 2 seasons. I'm going to go 93-2 Packers.
I think those are all good predictions. And yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like I'm up for, at least I'm mentally prepared for any of those games. You know, that's what I'm ready for. So let's see it.
Can I ask you guys a question? I don't get to talk to you guys a lot. Do you see a lot of wins on the Packers' schedule? Because
we see nothing but wins on the Packers' schedule. Let me bring this up for you. I will give you our next 4 weeks, and you tell me whether you think the Packers should win these or not. Okay. Home Rams at Pittsburgh, home Chargers at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Oh, fuck. I don't see a lot of wins on here. You're right. Son of a bitch.
You might get one against the Chargers, and I think you'll split with the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are a powerhouse, right? There's going to be
we still have yet the Chiefs,
I see that, Reach.
Tampa Bay, Carolina. We still got I don't know. It's hard to say. It's the NFL.
I'll tell you the difference here.
We've scored 6 points in the past. Now it's
4
12.
weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks. 6 points in the first half.
I'll tell you the difference here. When we went 0-3 or we were 1-4, and like to your point, Mayhew, everyone didn't give a shit about us and we were dead. We were playing good football. We just kept turning the damn ball over. So like we could see that we were getting a lot of yards. We were playing good. Our new and improved defense, which we didn't talk about today, is very good. And we felt good about ourselves. Like I thought we were a better 1-4 team than we were 5-0 last year, or whatever it was. I felt like we were a better team. It's just we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. So I could see wins on the schedule. When I watch the Packers, and I'm just a sports fan, I watch every game I can. When I see the Packers, I don't see a lot of wins on that calendar. That's what concerns me. I don't see them as the superior team with a ton of growth potential to get to where 8-9 wins where you need to be, to get in the playoff.
It's shit like that is the reason why we have you on here, Reese, because if you were just some fucking horn blowing, rowing, fucking drum beating, shield wearing, bald fucking redhead, we would not have you here. But I got to tell you, it's always a pleasure having you. And I'm so excited to have you for a 2-episode stretch. Some of us aren't. But
God damn it. Are you serious?
Oh, he's back.
Again?
Shane, what do the Packers score? What do the Vikings score? Take us out, Shane.
Final score predictions.
This week it's going to be a lot to a little by the Vikings. We're going to get our asses handed to us, and that's why I'm going so hardcore on the redhead guy who doesn't even have red hair anymore. Okay? I'd like to apologize.
We'll finish the episode with a fuck the Vikings.
It just times out.
Fuck the Vikings. 3, 2, 1. Fuck the Vikings.
Fuck the Vikings.
I love you guys too. Good luck Sunday, fellas.
Thanks, Richie.
Oh man, thanks a ton. That was awesome. Appreciate it.
Oh God.
It's some fucking and Shane from Shawano. God damn it. I'm glad you escaped captivity.
2 dads and a chance, putting trophies on the wall. 2 dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. 2 dads and a chance, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up your air conditioner, cause it's bound to get hot. 2 dads and a chance, we live it and we live it right. 2 dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. 2 dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.